love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better believe in your mind, cause it's everything. You can mold, shape, find almost anything. All it takes is some time and some clarity to find your identity. It's mind over everything. And when I feel like this, I'm immortal. 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 Don't be scared. Just give me up. Don't be back. I won't stop, I'ma fight until there's nothing left. It's so what? You're gonna be hurting bad, cause I've been to hell and back. You don't wanna make me mad. I stay strong, you will never see me crack. And if you get in my way, you're gonna feel the wrath. Gotta say it to my face while he's looking back. Mirror breaks after math. When I hate, I attack. I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. Don't be scared. Just give me up. Don't be scared.
Welcome in, everybody, to Fantasy Pros. This is Week 10, the Start Sit live stream. If you've got questions, we've got answers. Here's my boy, Andrew Erickson, hanging out with me today to help you figure out who to put in your lineups. If you got trade questions, life questions, whatever you got, drop them in the chat. But remember, you're only allowed to ask your question if you are a subscriber to our Fantasy Pros channel. So at the very top here, let's get on that. Let's subscribe to Fantasy Pros. So Andrew Erickson, I know a lot going on here in the world of football, a lot of moving pieces as always. We've got another really exciting Thursday night game ahead of us. So let's talk a little bit about perhaps some expectations, because I've gotten so many questions about the Carolina Panthers backfield in the last 24 hours. And the most prominent one has been, do I wait and start Jeffrey Wilson Jr. or do I start D'Onta Foreman tonight? Which would you do?
That is a loaded question opening up the show with. I think that I would probably wait for Jeff Wilson. I think Foreman has a much scarier floor. You've seen this Panthers offense bottom out before with PJ Walker at quarterback. You've also seen it, explode. D'Onta Foreman just a couple weeks ago against the Falcons, had a monster game. So we tend to see these divisional games the second time around be very underwhelming, just kind of historically speaking. And the fact that that game was so high flying from both sides. And now we're getting a Thursday night game, less preparation. The weather's supposed to be bad. It's kind of all pointing to signs of hey, another game, another Thursday night game that you probably didn't want to watch. and when that happens, you just don't see fantasy points as much. So Jeff Wilson, this Miami Dolphins offense, they just create shootout environments. They play fast, they score fast. And I think that's what you kind of want more pieces of. So for me, Jeff Wilson is trending in the right direction. Feel better about his role. Chuba Hubbard could outsnap, D'Onta Foreman tonight. That's in the range of outcomes. Whereas Wilson looks like he is the guy for the Miami Dolphins and not Raheem Mostert. So I would wait for Jeff Wilson.
All right. And D'Onta Foreman, by the way, happens to be one of the most traded players over on the Sleeper app. Make sure you're going to play all your fantasy teams over on Sleeper. It's where the cool kids are playing. Cordarelle Patterson also on that list, by the way, after his 2 touchdown performance. Getting a lot of questions about him. A lot of people are really excited about Cordarelle Patterson. And I get it, but you don't get style points. You only get real points. So although it was fun to watch him truck that guy and score, although it was fun to watch him, just running angry all over the field, we have to be realistic. I understand they're a run-first offense. We all know that. But what's the value of Cordarelle Patterson right now? Is he valuable now going forward because he's already had his couple weeks off for injury that we usually bake into the Cordarelle Patterson usage anyway? Are you somebody that's very happy to have him? Or are you somebody that's looking to trade him off that return game where he had 2 touchdowns?
I think that you always want to entertain selling high after a guy has a multi-touchdown game coming back, especially when you play the Chargers, because everyone knows that you can run the ball on the Chargers. Every team can do it because they just can't stop the run. So a little bit of a tougher matchup here against the Panthers. Not necessarily like they are, stuffing people at running back. Just ask Joe Mixon. He had obviously an elite game against the Carolina Panthers, so it's still a good matchup for CPAT. But I want to hold him. He's been good before his injury. And for him to come back immediately and step in and be the RB1 in the offense, he didn't even play more than 40% of the snaps. So, his workload, they are limiting it to make sure that he is healthy for the long run. The Falcons are a contender. Everyone in this division is a contender for the NFC South. So this isn't a situation where, they're going to see Pat down like a Jonathan Taylor, like a DeAndre Swift, where you're scared to buy into those guys because the team might be like, you know what? We're the season is lost. We're just going to move on from this player, shut him down. Patterson's not in that situation. Like the Falcons are trying to win games. So I like Patterson as a buy and definitely a guy I would rather hold than try to sell off.
All right, one more thing here before we start taking all the questions here. Jacoby Myers and Chris Godwin, 2 wide receivers. One's on a bye and the other one catches all the balls in the world, but is just somehow not converting those catches into fantasy points. So we kind of touched on this in the pod the other day. Finally, you're starting to lose patience with me. So here we are. We are in week 10. Is Chris Godwin somebody you want to buy or somebody you want to sell at this point?
I'm trying to sell Chris Godwin. I still think he has a good matchup this week. So if you have him on your team, you're still going to play him. It's a good matchup in the slot against the Seahawks. But, we've seen the double-digit target games for 4 straight weeks and just been bleh type of production. So it's the touchdowns that are the real problem here. Brady's not throwing touchdowns, and that's obviously hurting his receivers, especially Chris Godwin, who has not scored yet this season. So that's the big issue here. Where's Godwin's ceiling? Is it going to get turned around with Brady? Maybe. I don't necessarily think, though, because this is a problem with the Buccaneers offense. Their red zone offense ranks in the bottom 3 this season. I just don't think that's just going to, snap your fingers. Now the red zone offense works. I think there's much more to that, especially with the offensive line having issues. So Godwin's not as explosive after the catch as he's been in years past. Coming off the injury, it kind of makes sense that he's just not as good with the ball in his hands. He's obviously still getting open to an extent, but not separating enough from defenders to create more yards after the catch as an underneath receiver. He's a bottom 10 average depth of target this season. So he's a player that I feel okay moving on from, because at the end of the day, he's going to get a bunch of targets. He'll put up some production, but he's not going to burn me in the end. So I feel good about either packaging him with another player to get up to an elite wide receiver coming off a bad game. Amon-Ra St. Brown. Get Amon-Ra St. Brown on your team. I say to literally everybody that asks me, who should I trade for this week? That's who you should trade for. So either trade Chris Godwin for St. Brown straight up, or put someone with Chris Godwin to get Amon-Ra St. Brown. That's what you should do.
It's a good sounding idea. I think everyone should listen to Andrew Erickson and go do that. Just as easy as that. It's not like anybody wants to, keep him on their roster or anything like that. I made a face, by the way, when you said Atlanta Falcons in the playoffs. I'm looking at the rest of the season schedule, and maybe I shouldn't have made the face. They could easily go 5-2 or 4-3 here, looking at the schedule. Seriously, have some fun. At Carolina, is that a win?
They're favorites, okay. So we'll go with W.
Home against Chicago, is that a win?
Yeah.
Okay, that's 2. At Washington, is that a W?
Yeah.
That's 3. Home against Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
You think so? With TJ Watt maybe coming back healthy here? See, I struggle with that one. All right, so that's 4. At New Orleans, at Baltimore.
The only game I'm they're definitely going to lose is probably against Baltimore. But every other game I feel like they're in it. So yeah.
Well, look, then after that, Arizona and Tampa. So they could get 5-6 wins here down the stretch.
Oh,
that would be something. It's not out of the range of outcomes, as Andrew Erickson likes to say. All right, let's go get to your questions. Remember, if you want to get a question answered here on the show, you need to subscribe to Fantasy Pros. And when you do, you could win that Amari Cooper autographed jersey from pristineauction.com. So subscribe, like the stream, leave a comment below on this video, and boom, That's it. That's all you got to do. And turn on that bell for notifications so you know if you're the big winner of the Amari Cooper jersey. Amari Cooper is going to be a big winner, but Deshaun Watson comes back in a couple of weeks. At least we think. We shall see. All right, let's get to the first question. He's been waiting here in the chat. Andrew Erickson Truther is finally here. Have you been able to interact with your bot at the same time? Because usually this person shows up all the time with me and Debro. Are you aware of this account?
No, I was not aware that there was an account called this.
Yes, I know who it is now on Twitter. I'm not going to tell you. But Andrew Erickson Truther says, my boys, please pick 2 RBs and 1 tight end in the PPR. Higbee, Otten, Aaron Jones, David Montgomery, Deonta Foreman. So 2 RBs and 1 tight end. Let's pick the tight end first. Higbee or Otten?
I'm going to still go with Higbee here. I know he's been disappointed the last couple weeks. I know he got hurt in one of those games. Last week, he just had 1 target and no catches, but he's playing the Arizona Cardinals. Like, they are the worst defense against tight ends this season by far, and Higbee's had a big role at times in this offense. Cade Otton, I'm just worried about Cameron Brate coming back. Like, he is practicing in full, so he's expected to suit up, and we've seen Cameron Brate miss a game. We saw Cade Otton have an increased role. Cameron Brate came back, and then they split the role 50-50. So I would like to say that, Otton's played really well. Like, he deserves to be the starter, but I cannot say that confidently because we've already seen this happen before where Brate's missed a game. He comes back, they split the snaps 50-50, and then you can't use either guy. So that's my concern about Otton, despite him playing well last week. And really even last week, I mean, he had basically no production until the last drive. So it is a little bit risky. I think Higbee has a higher floor, and the matchup is just so good. So I'm going to go with Higbee.
And then Aaron Jones, Montgomery, Foreman need 2 of the 3. So who's the odd man out?
I want nothing to do with like the Green Bay Packers. Like, I'm sorry, not sorry. I just don't care. Like, Aaron Jones with the ankle injury, if that saps
well, that's the thing. It's the ankle.
Yeah, I'm not. And he was on the injury report for a knee injury. So I don't know what is going on now with Aaron Jones. Yeah, if you can fade the Packers backfield, that's what I would do.
All right, Corey Goldstein starts 2 flex PPR, Hardman, Marshall, DPJ. Who you want to get in there?
Yeah, I like these options here. I'd probably go with Terrace Marshall. Really good matchup against the Falcons.
You get 1 more.
Oh, I get to start 2. You get
it's like trick or treat. You get to take 2 pieces of candy. That's what you get from the board. You get to take 2.
I like Donovan Peoples-Jones a lot this week.
I do too.
So I'm going to go with him.
I'm mad because I made the show sheet for the Start Sit show, and then I wanted to change it to Donovan Peoples-Jones for the flex appeal, and Debro had already taken him. So now I took his guy, Terrace Marshall, just out of spite. I'm opening a spite store on that show later this afternoon. Jake W. Need 1 in the flex, Swift, Foreman, or Mooney?
Probably start Foreman.
The Cosmic Realm help. Start Chubby, B-Rob, or Warren in the full PPR.
Is Chubby Chuba Hubbard? Is that
I guess so. It's not a nickname for Nick Chubb because I don't think he's in this grouping.
Right. I would hope. Yeah. I wish it was Nick Chubb. That'd be much easier to make this decision.
I like that. Chubby Hubby.
Man.
Is that why you call him the Chubby Hubby? Is that why? Is that a nickname with you cool kids that I don't know about?
No. Chuba Hubbard has not gone by that nickname.
Okay, so Chuba, B-Rob, Warren. You only get 1, I think.
I think I'm going to go with Jaylen Warren.
Okay.
I like what I've seen from him.
If Mike Tomlin puts his money where his mouth is this week.
Yeah.
We shall see. Batmac Gaming, Garrett Wilson or Michael Pittman rest of season. Garrett Wilson for me ain't close. I am done with the Colts. I'm over it. I don't care what narrative people feel good Jeff Saturday nonsense. I'm not buying it. Sorry, folks. This is the NFL. This is the National Football League. We're going to throw somebody in who's never coached before and a whole bunch of new people. No. I'm sorry. Go ahead. What do you got here? Pittman or Wilson?
Well, imagine if I came back strong with Michael Pittman. No,
you can. I agree. That's what the show is. Go ahead. You can come back.
I don't.
This is a free country. Okay, we all voted on Tuesday. You can go out there. You can take that stance that Michael Pittman is going to be the better guy rest of the season. I'd love to hear the argument for it because I can't think of one.
No, I agree with you, which is why I would also go with Garrett Wilson. The Jets have a much better schedule the second half of the season anyway. So,
cheers, Andrew Erickson. Cheers. Let's go to Prab Gill. It's a weird name. Pick 1: Zeke, DJ Moore, or Gabe Davis.
I'm gonna go with DJ Moore.
DJ Moore. All right, David Boydston. keeping Hurts, but looking to put Fields up for a trade. What is a fair RB slash wide receiver in return? So we've talked a lot about this. They have the trade tools too, the trade finder on Fantasy Pros on my playbook. You could take a look and kind of see what the values are. But, right now in a single quarterback league, I'm of the mind personally that Hurts is somewhere in that Hopkins, AJ Brown, Amon-Ra, CeeDee Lamb, Amari Cooper, Chris Olave, DK Metcalf, and then I cut it off. Like, that's my level of wide receivers. At running back, I don't know if you've got some names there. Like, I don't think you can trade him for an elite guy, but maybe that next tier, that lower wide receiver one, upper tier 1A group, that's what I think Fields should be worth. What do you think in terms of RB or a wide receiver as well?
I mean, I think the way that in a lot of one quarterback leagues, I would probably move Fields for any type of upgrade at all. Like, it really depends on your league because different leagues value quarterbacks differently. So I'm assuming this person got Fields off the waiver wire, and I would just basically look for whoever has the worst quarter. Like, look who is starting Jimmy Garoppolo this week. Like, that's who I would look for from the team. Look for that make a trade with that manager and try to get one of their better running backs or wide receivers, and then just secure your depth because Jalen Hurts has already had his bye week, so you're never
Right.
going to start Fields. Ever.
Right.
I mean, you could try in certain matchups, but the Eagles have a good schedule the rest of the season, so you're never going to start Fields. So I don't feel like you may not have to get like the exact value you want, but you're going to make your team ultimately better and not having Fields. You don't need to have Fields on your team. So that's what I would probably try to do. And from a running back perspective, I mean, is Damian Pierce
Yeah,
Fields enough for that?
that's exactly who I'm looking at. End of RB1. I think that's exactly what we're looking at. Carl B. Godwin has been consistently underwhelming this year. Do I sit him this week for Courtland Sutton? That's a hard no for me. At least he's getting targets. At least he's got Tom Brady throwing the football. I would still roll Godwin out there, but you are Mr. Courtland Sutton. Would you rather play Sutton this week or Godwin?
Yes, I am Mr. Courtland Sutton, but no, I would not play him
Okay.
over Chris Godwin.
All business, Andrew Erickson. Always business. Lucilo Torres. Yo, good morning, fellas. Morning. It's afternoon here. I don't know where you are. PPR League, Flexbot, Pittman, Sutton, or Pickens?
I would go with Courtland Sutton.
I probably begrudgingly agree with Andrew, but I would rather start Pickens probably in. I would. This is my passive aggressive, where I think Pickens is probably going to be better, but I would probably start Courtland Sutton and probably be unhappy. Cody Schlott. Hey, pros, I need some help with my 3 flex spots. Full PPR. Which one of these players should I bench? Swift, Khalil Herbert, Pickens, or Pollard?
Swift, Herbert, Pickens, or Pollard. I want to start Pollard. I want to start Herbert. So those guys are in. And then
Swift or Pickens.
Just trying to lay in my mind, like, just the Swift thing is so frustrating because of the way that they're using him.
I think Swift is the upside play. Pickens is kind of the floor, honestly. Like, Swift could have Swift could easily have one big run, one big moment. Pickens would have to have a touchdown at least to be a big day for Pickens.
Yeah, I'm really having trouble like evaluating the Swift situation because at one point I'm like, well, he's the upside guy, but then it's like, well, how much upside does he have if he only touches the ball like 5 times?
It's fair. It's fair.
But he's explosive when he does get the ball, and we know he's going to be efficient when he touches it, especially as a receiver. So I guess I would probably lean with you I think running backs in general have a safer floor than wide receivers do. So yeah, let's go with Swift.
Curtis says, yo guys, Zeke or Foreman in the full PPR?
I'm going with Foreman.
2 for 2. Jen Richard forced to start Foreman tonight. Full PPR. Do I dare start Terrace Marshall as well, or do I start B-Rob instead? So, you want to go all in here on the Panthers tonight?
That sounds very as great as that sounds. I am going to do it because I just don't want to start Brian Robinson. So yeah, I'm going to start the 2 Panthers guys.
Jen, I would also do the same. So there you go, 2 for 2. We'll think good thoughts for you tonight. Let's go to Girthy Geese, another fantastic name here. Pitts or Dulcich?
I'm going to go with Dulcich.
Dulcich here for you. Okay, yeah, I understand why. Girthy Geese. That's a fun name there. I think that was when Chris was a dancer back in college. I think that was possibly one of the names he danced under. I got to go research that on Google and be sure. Prime is beastin'. Need help. Bad 10-team PPR. 2 flex league. Trade away Etienne and Gabe Davis for Diggs and Khalil Herbert.
I would try to not trade away Etienne if I didn't have to.
Can you just do Gabe Davis for Khalil Herbert? Just call it a day? Like, can we just do that?
Yeah, that works for me. Yeah, if you need the I guess I'm trying to figure out why he's making this trade. I mean, I guess you like why
Must
do
have
you want
extra RBs, but I'm not trying to get rid of RBs because they're dropping like flies. So I want to
yeah.
keep Etienne. I'm with you. And
Week
then
week 17 he plays the Texans. Like that's all you need to know about Etienne. Like
well, and then Diggs too. I mean, if this Josh Allen situation with the elbow gets worse, I mean, that's not great. So I don't know. Diggs is a dicey acquisition right now, I think.
yeah, I would just keep I would keep Yeah, just do the Gabe Davis or Herbert trade. I think
Yeah,
that's
this
fine.
cut this deal in half. Daniel Tino, trade Amari Cooper for Miles Sanders. That's fair.
Um I think I'd rather have Cooper in a vacuum. I mean, roster construction, maybe if you need a running back more. Miles Sanders has been just like, I mean, he's good, but they're just so many other offensive players that score in that offense that just
Well, let's
doesn't let
say you
him
are flush at wide
be.
receiver and you needed an RB. That's pretty good value, right?
Yeah, I think like I said, it's a fair trade. I think in a vacuum, I would prefer Cooper because of the things that we mentioned about Watson coming back. Cooper's been really good this year with Jacoby Brissett. So yeah, that's kind of my take on it.
Okay, Eric G, DPJ, or Terrace Marshall in a standard league.
In a standard league, I would go with Peoples Jones.
I agree. 2 for 2. Vernon Gomes. Hey, fellas, should I play Jimmy G over Herbert?
Yep.
There you go.
You can't like
argue.
Herbert. Herbert was QB 18 last week against the Falcons. Like that's bad. And now he's playing the 40. Now he's playing the 49ers, who are actually a good defense. So
he doesn't have a lot of friends to help out. That's for sure.
Right now.
Robin Triana Marrero, help guys. Limited options for flex here. Foreman, Najee Harris, Claypool, or Josh Palmer.
I would probably just start Foreman.
Okay, let's go to Chris Coach. Full PPR. Marshall, Warren, or A-Rob. And greetings from Germany. Hello, Chris. Enjoy the game. I hope you're going. I heard it was like 1 million people tried to get access to tickets or something like that, or the lottery for tickets for that game. That's fantastic. That's super cool. Yeah. So hopefully you're one of them, Chris. If not, enjoy the festivities. I saw NFL Network's there. How come we didn't fly there, Chris? Nobody flew Fantasy Pros out there, Chris. You know, Chris, we could all go to Germany this weekend. That would have been fun, right? A little outing. Some beer steins for all of us.
Das Boot.
Yeah, das football game. Yeah. Okay, so let's do this. Marshall, Warren, or A-Rob? Marshall. Okay, let's go to Zach Sprates, A.J. Dillon, or Jaylen Warren. Here we go.
A.J. Dillon has been so bad this year. I mean,
he was so good week 1. He was RB10 week 1. And man, oh man, did that look like so right. And then it's been nothing but crap for the last 9 weeks. It's so frustrating. So frustrating.
Yes, it is frustrating. We don't know what the status of Aaron Jones is. I think if Aaron Jones doesn't play, I think it's pretty easy to play A.J. Dillon. But if Aaron Jones is out there, I mean, Dallas's defense is just going to suffocate this Packers offense.
I'm looking forward to it.
So
it's gonna be fun.
I'm just going to play Jaylen Warren. I'm just going to play the guy who's been good this year, and that's Jaylen Warren.
Look, if Jones is out, you play Dillon.
Yeah.
If he's there and playing, then I think you can play Warren. I think you can see what Warren is, see what happens. Johnny Baseball, Gino, Brady, or Danny Dimes. You only pick one. Who's in?
I'm rolling with TB12.
Okay. Tanner Strangemeyer. Pick 2, Dulcich, Pitts, or Njoku?
Dulcich and Njoku.
All right. Well, Njoku, is he going to play? That seems far-fetched to me.
He's been practicing, I think. I don't know what the latest updates are. So yeah, I guess it's
Tanner, this one might get kind of, figured out for you here. Look, if Njoku gets a full practice in on Friday, okay. But anything short of that, I think I still play Pitts. Like, you got to play the healthy guys.
Well, I think too, in the fact that Pitts plays tonight, I think you probably just have to play Dulcich and Pitts, because if Njoku doesn't play, then you have to add another tight end, and it just becomes a mess. And honestly, it is tight end at the end of the day. Like, they could all just score the same, like, not that many points. So
play Pitts tonight and then Dulcich. Don't wait for the Njoku thing. Tim, am I crazy to start CPAT over Dameon Pierce? Yes.
I have them ranked back to back, but I have Pierce ranked ahead of CPAT. So.
I think it's nuts to do this. Jennifer Hafner, our good friend, always here on the show with us. With weather forecasts, are we fading Terrace Marshall? I need a wide receiver 3, and it's Slim Pickens with the buys. I could play him, Gallup, or Alec Pierce, or pick up Nico Collins if he plays. I would still roll with Marshall with all those options. Weather be damned. I don't like any of these other guys. I have no faith in Pierce, Nico, or Gallup right now. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, if I knew Nico was like healthy, then I would like him a decent amount, but I don't know that. So I'm going to go with the information at hand, which is Terrace Marshall has been getting a lot of volume. It's a good matchup, and obviously the weather is not ideal, but hey, sometimes you got to roll with the punches.
All right, let's go to Foxworth. She has a question here. Full PPR, flex Wan'Dale, Pickens, or Melvin Gordon?
I will go with Pickens here.
Okay. Lil Shouty Spice is up next. Man, I know Chris put that in the chat, and he was so excited that he got to hear me say Lil Shouty Spice. That's exactly how it's spelled. Exactly. Let's go to full PPR, Pittman or Lazard. It's Lazard for me, Shouty, and it ain't close.
Yeah, Lazard for me too.
All right, let's go to Dominic Gazzetti. Hey, yo, what's going on, Big Pot Energy and Master Giuseppe? You guys, Pitts or Higbee? Which you think is better? Which one of these guys?
I like Higbee still.
I mean, it's hard to go with Pitts. I mean, Pitts is that like, do you lose sleep over that? Like how upset, you are that Pitts has done nothing this year and how much in terms of expectation you had going in? Because your expectations were not unfounded. I think we're all very excited for him. But like, does that kind of grind your gears here in week 10 that Pitts has been such a miserable disappointment?
Honestly, not really to the extent that I would think, kind of going back, because it's like not surprising to me because he was the guy that I pegged as, okay, like, he's the person I think is going to be the exception to the rule. So I was going in knowing I was breaking my own rule about drafting guys in good offenses. So I kind of knew in the back of my mind, like, there's a chance that this craters. And it not necessarily hasn't cratered in the way I thought it would, but the downfall has been there. And it was always there with the Atlanta Falcons offense. And we are living through it right now. So it's like, I kind of look in the mirror. I'm like, well, Andrew, like, you didn't follow your one rule that you made, and this is what you get. So that's kind of my
has this really like completely solidified your good ecosystem thing going into next year, where you'll be even more dramatic for it?
I'm actually looking forward to kind of like going back and really diving into like my hits and misses and kind of taking it a step further with the ecosystem type of play. Cause I think it is a good rule of thumb, but trying to then figure out, okay, what is a good quarterback? Like what are the quarterbacks that do support? Cause I thought Baker Mayfield, he's an upgrade for DJ
Patrick
Moore.
Mahomes. He's a good quarterback.
Exactly. And missing out on the Dolphins guys, not being as aggressive on them, thinking that the Dolphins wouldn't be.
Well,
as good
that you get a pass on because Tua hadn't proven it yet. So you had to take a leap of faith on Tua. And then the funny thing is everybody was ready to take a leap of faith on Russell Wilson and the Broncos, and that failed miserably. So go figure, how that all works out. But I think coaching has a lot to do with it too. I don't think it's just quarterback play. I think a lot of it is coaching, and that should always be something we talk about more, and we will here on the show. Let's go to the lazy one. Full PPR, Sutton, Palmer, or Moore in the 2 spot. If this is, I think Rondale Moore could have a huge game here, potentially this week. I really like Rondale, especially because I think Hopkins is going to get shadowed by Jalen Ramsey. So
but does that matter? I mean, Ramsey is not the same guy he once was.
He's not.
Let's be honest here.
He's not. But again, that's enough. Look, Palmer, is going to get the targets. It's a tough matchup. Sutton is,
well, how do you know he's not talking about DJ Moore?
I'm not. That was my caveat. Was if it's Rondale Moore, that's an interesting conversation. I mean, we tell you here on the show, you have to be more specific with your Moores and your Johnsons.
His username
that's
is
what you have to do.
Is lazy one, so I would expect nothing less, honestly.
Okay, so true. Lazy one, of course, didn't give us extra information. You lived up to the hype. So who would you start here? You want to start Sutton, Palmer, or anyone named Moore?
If it's Rondale Moore, I would start Sutton. If it's DJ Moore, I would start DJ Moore.
What if it's Demi Moore? Would you start her?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I agree. I would too. Luis Velasquez, Pitts tonight or wait for Waller? I'm never waiting for Waller.
Yeah,
waiting for Waller is insane. I mean, at this point in time, this is another guy where is he? He's like Carmen Sandiego trying to find Darren Waller.
Walter, not where's Waldo.
Yeah, pretty much. Can we get that? Can we get that meme? Somebody message Ryan right now. Hit him up on the Slack. We need a Where's Waller meme, and every week we do it where we just put Darren Waller in a huge group shot somewhere, and you have to find Darren Waller. Let's do this right now. I'm gonna right after the show. right after the show, we got to do this, of course, because, you know, he'll do it and then someone will rip him off like they always do. Ryan does a great job on their social media, and I don't like when people steal his stuff. Give him credit. He's a creative young man. All right, let's go to Brooke S. Start Miles Sanders or Cordarelle Patterson in the full PPR.
I like Patterson.
Okay, let's go to Christopher Kerrigan. QB stream, Pickett or Dalton?
I'm gonna roll with I'll roll with the rookie. I'll roll with Kenny.
I'm rolling with Kenny P.
Yeah.
Let's go. Kenny P. Let's do it. Also, if you need help making decisions when we're not around, don't forget, my playbook is there for you. When times are rough, when you're feeling down about your team, when bye weeks have you sad, my playbook can help you find all of those things. Sync your teams for free at fantasypros.com/myplaybook. And that's what you're going to do. Or you can download the app over on the Apple Store, Android. It's all there in Google. So go get my playbook, use the trade tools, use the waiver wire tools, use the start sit tools, all kinds of tools so that you don't feel like a tool for getting your lineups incorrect and losing. Okay? So use my playbook. It is helpful. Plus, you get all the updated news on your specific teams, and you can set all your lineups in one spot on my playbook. To me, that alone is worth it. Like, if you haven't put my playbook on your phone yet, I don't know what you're doing. Because just that feature alone, where you could set all your lineups from all these different places in one spot, is worth it just there, not to mention all the premium product stuff we got going on. Go check it out. My playbook. Go do it. The Monkey Jockey. It's really hard to ride a monkey. Yeah, you got to be really tiny to ride a monkey. Good evening from Germany. Here we go. We're huge in Germany. We are huge in Europe. I tell you, next year, that's where our trip should be. We should go to Germany next year. Sit 2. Jonathan Taylor, Deion Jackson, Swift, Mostert, DJ Moore, full PPR. You got to sit 2. Who's it going to be?
Deion Jackson and Mostert.
Yes, agreed. I assume that the Colts are going to run the football a whole heck of a lot, right? The offensive lineman comes in with a game plan. Like, isn't that what the offensive lineman probably wants to do, run the football?
Yeah, I think that makes sense. But, you know, how healthy is Jonathan Taylor? So that's the question.
Not. Brian Freddy Krueger. Hey, guys. Bench 1 wide receiver for half PPR. Gabe Davis, Sutton, Lazard, or Pickens?
What are your thoughts on Gabe Davis with Case Keenum?
I don't have a problem with Case Keenum.
Okay.
I picked up Case Keenum in one league in a super flex just to kind of hedge my bets a little bit because I had Mac Jones on a bye already as my second QB. So I just kind of picked him up to be a little cagey. So that worked out. We'll see if, what happens. I would do this. I would play Lazard, Pickens, and Sutton and take that variance out of it just because we don't know what it is. And I think that's the most concerning thing. And he's such a boom or bust player anyway. Not that Sutton's been any good, but I think I would sit Pickens because this group of players, you're kind of threading the needle anyway. None of these guys, like Lazard's pretty good. He's been consistent, but
yeah,
you can't afford a big fat zero here. And if you put Sutton and Gabe Davis, you've just given yourself twice the amount of possibility for that. Oh, by the way, the Raiders just put Darren Waller on IR, and that's from Mike Mayer. So while I was saying that, it happened. Mayer, I know you're listening to the show. You're watching the show. Go hit up Ryan right now. Tell him we need the Where's Waller thing. We need it on the Twitter machine ASAP. He needs to get to the meme machine and make it.
So, one thing I just want to say, why didn't these teams not put their players on IR in the first place? And then they just put them on IR. And Michael Thomas is like, oh, we're not going to put them on IR. And then
pride. I don't know. I have no idea.
Just put them on IR.
Why. I mean, it just feels so bizarre.
Are they just I don't understand. Just blind faith and hope? And that's something that I'm concerned about with Jamar Chase because people are like, oh, well, they didn't put him on IR. And I'm like, guys,
fair.
That doesn't mean anything. This happens all the time with teams oh, we're not going to put him on IR because he'll be back before the 4-week window. And it's just, no, give it, I don't understand why NFL teams are not giving more time for their players to get healthy versus, no, you need to come back sooner so you get re-injured and then push yourself and then you get hurt again and then we put you on real-time IR. So, rant over.
No, I love it. Usually I'm the guy going on the rants. See, this is what happens. Erickson spent way too much time with me and look what you become. Look at you. Feel the evil flowing through you. I love it. So good. Let's go to, so who are your 3 guys?
So Lazard? I guess I'd go with Lazard, Sutton, and Pickens then. Yeah.
Okay, so you agree. Cody H. Cook versus the Bills or Jeff Wilson Jr. versus the Browns in a PPR?
I'm still going to start Dalvin Cook.
I agree. But you know what? I want to get Jeffrey Wilson in the lineup. You want to think about flexing him. That's a great matchup against Cleveland. Jacob Reinhart, half PPR. Alan Lazard or Brandon Ayuk?
Brandon Ayuk's been really good, really consistent. But I'm just
So
afraid
is Alan
that
Lazard. Lazard's
that's
been the pillar of consistency.
yeah. So I think I'm going to go with Lazard here just because he's the only show in town. Whereas it could be Ayuk week, it could be Debo week, it could be McCaffrey week, it could be Kittle week. Like that's the role you're playing. And I like rolling the dice because it is a great matchup for all these 49ers. But Lazard, I know, is going to get his because he's the only guy that Aaron Rodgers can throw the ball to. So
You're going to love this. Okay, here you go. Here's the statement from the Raiders. Waller aggravated his hamstring injury, and the team believes this will give him 4 weeks to get it healthy to come back and finish the season. Sure. Sure, pal. All right, let's get to Mr. TD. Trade my JT and Palmer for CPAT. Frustrated JT owner. Look, I know you're frustrated, but you got to give him a chance to build back some value here. I don't know if that's too much. Like JT alone for Cordarelle Patterson, I understand your frustration. I get it. If you did it, I would say, okay, I feel your pain. But then Palmer too? Like, why are you giving that much up? That's ridiculous. What do you think?
I mean, I would only be doing like this fire sale if my team is like 2-7, and I'm just like, I need a spark. I need something to change. Like Patterson has a good matchup this week, so he could score more points than Jonathan Taylor. Like if you have to win like out, I mean, how long is it going to take for Jonathan Taylor to get back up to speed is my concern. So if you have a bottom record, sure, I'm fine with it. But if you're like 5-4, like I wouldn't do this.
Okay, let's move on to the next one here. Victor, hurting a tight end with Andrews on a bye. Do I go Otten or Kmet this week? I pick up Kmet for several reasons. Number one, if Andrews comes back or doesn't come back right away, necessarily after the bye, then you've got another tight end. He's trending in the right direction. He's a very talented guy. You're starting to see him finally get some decent quarterback play after 2 years just wasting away in the NFL. He's such a good talent. He was so good at Notre Dame. Otten already potentially splitting, and he's on a bye next week. Yeah. So Cole Kmet is clearly the choice for me, Andrew. Did I make a strong enough case?
Yeah, no, I like it, and he has a good matchup this week. He's playing the Lions, so.
There you go. You know what else is a good matchup? You and an Amari Cooper jersey. That's right, boys and girls. You could get an Amari Cooper jersey, Cleveland Browns' own wide receiver 1, courtesy of our good pals at pristineauction.com. All you have to do is be a subscriber of our YouTube channel, comment below, like the stream, and just like that, it can be yours. Don't forget to click that little bell till it goes ding for the notification so you know every time a piece of amazing content drops here, Fantasy Pros. And of course, if you are the big lucky winner of this Amari Cooper jersey, we're just giving away jerseys left and right, all the jerseys, so many. And for those of you who have been subscribers from the get-go for many, many moons now, for those of you who have been with us all season 2 as a subscriber, I just want to say on behalf of everybody, thank you. You guys are just tremendous. It's a fantastic group of people here. We love doing these live streams. We love interacting with all of you. It's been super fun, and we see how consistently you all are in here, or as Debro would say, y'all are in here, and we appreciate y'all, and y'all keep coming back real soon. Y'all keep on keeping on with us. We know you have a lot of other choices, and you keep choosing us, and we appreciate that here at Fantasy Pros. So we're going to keep bringing the heat for you. Alex says, sup, fellas. Hope everything is going well. Full PPR. Need an RB2 to start. Who do I go with? Swift, Jamal Williams, Jeffrey Wilson Jr., Kareem Hunt.
I'm going to go with Jeff Williams. Jeff Williams.
Jeff Williams. You just made a new player up. That's terrific.
Jeff Wilson and Jamal Williams.
Okay. There you go. MSH. Drop Pitts for Dulcich. Is it time?
I mean, I have Dulcich ranked ahead of Pitts, so if I want the best guy this week, that's what I would do. I would try to trade Pitts or do something else like that, but yeah, if you got to do it, you got to do it.
Now, as many people know, we are just the minions here. We work under Chris, who is head honcho here in the audio-visual world at Fantasy Pros, and he's told us a lot of tight end questions, so maybe it would be a good thing if Andrew would go through his top 10 tight ends for the week, give a little breakdown, maybe some fringe streamer guy, something like that. So let's continue to make our El Jefe happy and give some tight end love out there to the people. What do we got here?
Okay,
see,
so
he actually flashed my screen off just to keep me straight. He's like, hey, don't you go off the rails, Joe. I'll take you right off this live stream. Go ahead.
All right, so my top 10 are Kelsey, George Kittle, Dallas Goedert, Zach Ertz, T.J. Hawkinson, Greg Dulcich, Tyler Higbee, Dalton Schultz, Pat Freiermuth, and Kyle Pitts are my top 10 guys. So
Any
for the
concern
most
with
part,
Freiermuth against New Orleans, who's been outstanding this year against tight ends?
I
It's my
mean,
only question. I know
yeah,
that we're running short on tight ends, but still.
yeah, I think that's your concern, but it's tight end. So it's like, I mean, Isaiah likely
Your
had the same
concern, bro.
matchup and caught a touchdown last week. So all Freiermuth has to do is catch a touchdown, and
That's all any
you'll
of them
be
have to
fine.
do.
So
Catch a touchdown, you're a tight end one. So who are the guys in the fringe that you feel good about?
So Everett is outside my top 10 at 11. You know, he's just another body that they need in the Chargers offense. So he had good route participation last week. Taysom Hill is, I mean, we kind of know the spiel with him where it's like, hey, just kind of throw him in there and kind of see what happens. So I have him at tight end 12. Otten, Kmet, Otten we've talked about before, just concerned about Cameron Brate coming back, even though it is a good matchup. Cole Kmet, I think, is probably the top streamer for me off the waiver wire against the Lions, like you mentioned. He's starting to heat up a little bit, 3 touchdowns over the last 2 weeks. And then Noah Fant. Like Noah Fant was like my stream guy last week, and he came through. Even before that big catch he had at the end of the game, like he was leading the team in targets and receptions. So if we're starting to see him separate himself a little bit more from Will Dissly, I think Noah Fant is an interesting player to target. Evan Ingram got hurt last week, so it's
Yeah,
just
bummer.
that's the only thing with him. Is just is he healthy? And
See,
that's
I have
not
Kmet
really
a little
been
higher
his.
than you this week, but again, those are the names there. I would just be really careful with Otten because it could be just that
Yeah.
fun one-off, and then he's got to bye next week, so you're going to be right back to streaming tight ends. Like I think that's a really short-sighted ad this week. If
Yeah.
you're looking for tight end, much rather be adding Kmet. Far more long-term appeal potentially. Let's go to Fred Mann. Should I trade Pittman and Ayuk to get Amari Cooper? Yes, you should. I like this trade. I
Yep.
like it a lot. Do it.
100%. Yeah, you should be trading Pittman away. Like just
Bye-bye.
facts, just
Bye-bye.
reality.
Bye-bye. All right, let's go to Tommy Nixon. Help! And he's got 4 exclamation points, so it looks serious. DJ Moore or James Conner?
DJ Moore. This Cardinals offense is dysfunctional at all times.
Foolish TV, Joshua Palmer or Devonta Smith?
Devonta Smith has way more upside. Like Palmer is a floor play because it's a brutal matchup. So I'll go with Smith against a horrible Washington secondary.
Dan Ramirez, Foreman or Pickens in the PPR?
I'm going to go with Foreman.
Derek Smith, what's up, boys? Please pick one. Kirk, Godwin, or Gabe Davis?
I'm going with Godwin.
Yeah, agree. Truly epic. Bench 1, Singletary, James Conner, or Deonta Foreman? I think I benched Singletary here.
Yeah, I mean, I Singletary is one of those guys where I'm never going to feel like he's going to like burn me if I bench him because he just doesn't have a lot of a very high ceiling. So yeah, I'll bench Singletary too.
I'm so proud of our audience here. I don't remember the last time I really broed somebody. Like, I mean, I broed somebody on Tuesday, but it was kind of like they were taunting me kind of bro. But like
They
everyone's
were
asking really
coming
good
at
questions.
you.
It was more
trolling you.
them. It was more them kind of like asking to be broed, basically. But we haven't gotten any bro questions. Well, who knows? We'll see where things go today. Sam Salas, is AJ Dillon a sit? Well, look, it depends. He's a sit as far as if Aaron Jones is on the field too. I'd be looking for anybody else.
Well, here's what you do. So AJ Dillon's a sit if Aaron Jones is active. AJ Dillon is a guy you trade if Aaron Jones is made inactive before the game.
That's nice.
That's what
Look
you
at
want to
you.
do.
Look what you did there.
Either way,
I
you
love
don't
it.
play him.
Look at you, Erickson. Tate Bryant, 14-team, full PPR, where the big boys and girls play in the 14-team leagues. Terrace Marshall or Wan'Dale Robinson?
I'm going to still go with Terrace Marshall.
Agreed. Bruniel Jacobs, DJ Moore, Mooney, Dulcich, or Freiermuth at the flex in the full PPR?
DJ Moore.
Jacob Glazer, 10-man half PPR. I have Josh Allen and have to drop somebody for a backup quarterback. Should I drop Palmer, Sutton, Wan'Dale, or Jaylen Warren? I would drop Wan'Dale.
Yeah, drop Wan'Dale.
Sean C, start 2 in the full PPR. Mooney, Marshall Jr., Devonta Smith.
Mooney and Smith for me.
Mooney and Smith, I concur. Melee Among Us. What about Isaiah Likely? Well, what
He's
about
on bye
him?
week?
For a bye.
So you can't play him, but you should probably hold him until we figure out more about Mark Andrews, unfortunately. Like, if you can,
if
you
you
probably
can
want to
hold
try to
him.
keep him.
That makes sense. That is good. That's a good thing to do. Also, another good thing to do is to be involved in our Discord because we love interacting with you guys and hanging out. And last night I did stages for an hour and 15 minutes talking to people. So go join our Discord, fantasypros.com/chat. It's free to join. Check it out. And then those premium members at fantasypros.com/offer, still plenty of time to go make a deposit offer and get 6 free months of Fantasy Pros premium products in my playbook. You also get into the touchdown leaderboard, the touchdown contest over on Discord. Hearts 24K, still at the top of the board with 48. But remember, not only are we giving away jerseys and fun stuff like that, every week we get winners, and the $25 to our Fantasy Pros shop is on the line. So if you're the big winner of the week, you go buy yourself a hat, t-shirt, a hoodie, whatever you like with that $25. Go get it. All right, let's get to who's next here. Let's get to our Chow. Drop Hines or Dillon for Jaylen Warren.
Drop Hines.
Agreed. William Huttenhauer. Full PPR, Wan'Dale or Thielen. I like Wan'Dale this week, so I'm playing
Yeah,
Wan'Dale.
I think Thielen's also like dealing with like multiple injuries, which
Yes, he is.
he's an old man. That's what happens. So yeah, go Wan'Dale.
Tell me about it. He doesn't even know why he's hurt. That's what happens when you get old. You just don't even know why. You're just hurt. Let's go to Hoagie Berra. Well, that's a funny one. I like this one. Sup, cool cats. Ayuk, Judy, or Pittman? I think Ayuk.
Yeah, Ayuk.
Justin Sorge traded Patterson for Olave. Good deal.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
We approve this message. Pedro Martinez. Oh my goodness. Pedro Martinez is in the chat. Unbelievable. Pedro, huge fan. I was at the game at Shea Stadium when the sprinklers came on and you were taking a drink from the sprinklers. Hilarious. I was there, Pedro. Big fan. Have your jersey in my closet right now. Help DJ Moore or Pittman in the full PPR. I'm playing Moore.
He's your daddy, DJ Moore.
That's right. I love Pedro's so great on those studio shows too. He is hilarious. He's a good time. He's entertaining. If you don't like Pedro Martinez, what's wrong with you? Even if you're a Yankee fan at this point, come on, you gotta like Pedro. He's hilarious. Here's our good friend Robert Lavelle, always here. Good afternoon, my Fantasy Blues Brothers. That's right. That's a movie, Andrew.
I know what that is.
And it was John Belushi and it was Dan Aykroyd. It's very funny. You should watch it. It still holds up. Still very funny. So,
I know what that is.
Have you seen it?
No, but I know what it is.
Well, when you see it, you get back to. Have you seen The Godfather?
Yes.
At least. Okay, good. We have to stop doing the show together if you haven't seen The Godfather. Robert Lavelle wants to know who should I start in PPR? Ezekiel, Elliott, or Alan Lazard? It's Lazard for me, and it ain't close, Bobby.
Yeah. The thing with Zeke is we're not even we don't know how healthy he is still. So yeah, Lazard.
Let's go to Ryan. Brian Robinson or Khalil Herbert, half PPR. Herbert for me, all the way. Cali Music, another one of our regulars. Hi, fellas. Thanks for all you do, especially you, Chris, behind the scenes. Oh, look at you, Chris. You finally got a fan. There you go. There you go. So, yes, Chris does not get enough credit. That's what I've been told to say. So yes, make sure you give him some more credit because he does a great job here. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Chris, but it's basically because it all runs through his laptop. All right, so I already have Lamar. I just picked up Fields. Who do I trade and who do I keep rest of season? This is an interesting one because I think you can make a case, statistically speaking, for Fields running more rest of season than Lamar. I would say whoever you get the most for would be my answer. But what do you say about this, Andrew?
I agree with you saying that Justin Fields could run more, but I also know that the Bears' schedule is really good the next couple weeks, but then is absolutely horrible during the playoffs. So that's because they have. So this is the schedule. So
remember, we didn't think it was going to be good against the Patriots either, and that worked out pretty good.
Well, right, but we know. So they play the Falcons, or they're playing the Bears, or excuse me, they're playing the Lions. Then they play the Falcons, Jets, Packers, and then during the playoffs they have Eagles and Bills. So they play the Lions in week 18, in week 17, which is the championship. But before that, they play Bills and Eagles. So that's not great for 2 of the 3 weeks of the playoffs.
It's not, but Lamar's got he's got a lot of issues too. Bateman's out, Andrews is hurt.
I mean, I think you hit the nail. It's like whoever you can get more for. But considering that this person just picked up Fields, I think.
Well, look, they've got Lamar on a bye, so they're playing Fields this week. So when you come out of it, the one thing I would say is if you get another monster, if you get another monster week out of Fields, which is a good possibility this week, then you trade Fields because I think Fields will bring you enough, and Lamar
he'll have more value. Yeah, I would just do that. That makes sense.
Kyle Clark, Jonathan Taylor, and Antonio Gibson for Josh Jacobs and Tony Pollard. Which side do you want? I want the Tony Pollard side. and Josh Jacobs. I mean,
Yeah. I mean,
what?
Taylor for
Huh?
Jacobs is a win for the Jacobs
Huh?
side, and Pollard is better than
How do you
Gibson.
pull this
So
off?
people are
Kyle.
people are attached to the draft capital from September.
I want Kyle Clark to be my agent if he could pull this trade off. Let me tell you. Eric Stanowski. I'm sorry, Eric. Eric Stanowski. Pick 2 standard. Godwin, McLaurin, Lazard. Standard format. Who do you want? It's
Lazard.
hard to pick Godwin.
Yeah, you
He
can't
hasn't
pick
scored
Godwin
a
in standard. Like, that's easy.
Well, yards are yards, but the thing is,
Well, he
like,
doesn't
he's
get
not
yards.
getting yards
He
either.
gets catches and targets, and that's it.
74 targets for 80, for 18 catches, 6 yards. Like, it's just brutal.
Genuinely goes down.
It gets more. It's just this huge decline. But seriously, I think you have no choice. You have to put McLaren and Lazard in there.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to Joseph Garcia, PPR 8-1. Whoa,
Ooh,
Joseph,
nice.
Look at you. Start 2, Fournette, Gibson, Juju, Cordarelle. I'm starting Juju and Cordarelle. How about you?
I concur.
All right, Julian, Tua and Taylor for Brady and Etienne.
Yeah, I think that I want Etienne is the best piece of
That's
this
the
deal.
prize.
So
Yeah.
that's what I would do.
Agreed.
I think the Dolphins' schedule gets a little bit tougher down the stretch, so I think selling Tua high makes sense here to get Etienne ultimately is the goal here. So I like that.
Matthew Heaton, thoughts on Miles Sanders, Jerry Jeudy, or Pollard? I'm sorry. Thoughts on Miles Sanders, Jerry Jeudy for Pollard and Amon-Ra? Again, if you can pull that off, that's great. Pollard and Amon-Ra for Miles Sanders and Jerry Jeudy? Yes, please do it.
Yes.
Dan Ramirez, any chance Darrell Henderson could break out with an easy rest of season schedule? Darrell Henderson. I have nothing. There's nothing anyone can say. And don't listen to anyone who tells you that they have any idea what's going on with the Rams offense. Because the Rams offense, outside of Cooper Kupp, is a hot, steaming pile of garbage. It is a hot, steaming, horrible, like banana peel, baby diaper smelling off. I hate it. I hate it so much. And Darrell Henderson's this piece. Like, I know everyone keeps hanging on. Everyone keeps trying to pick up guys. Like, what do you think here about Darrell Henderson?
I mean, I would argue you could see more from. Look, we've already seen all these Rams running backs play. The only one we haven't seen play is Kyren Williams. So if I'm going to bet on any Rams running back, I'd probably bet on the guy that still hasn't showed that he sucks yet.
He just showed us that he's slow.
Exactly.
He's small and slow. So great.
So,
that should
all
work
these
out
Rams
in the NFL.
are just, this offense is dysfunctional, like the Cardinals, and it'll be really interesting to have them yelling at each other on the sidelines the entire game because it's two different dysfunctional teams going at it. So yeah, Rams Cardinals.
What do you make of all that too? What do you make of all the Cliff Kingsbury, Kyler Murray? Like, it's hard because we're on the outside looking in. There's a certain level where I understand guys sometimes get fired up in games and, stuff happens. It's the emotions of the game. But then there's also a point where the quarterback is kind of showing up the coach a little bit. And I don't like that at a Kyler Murray. Like, I understand you do it once, but if you're going to do it every single week now and it's a thing, I think that's a bad look for not only Cliff Kingsbury, it's a bad look, certainly. But I think it's a bad look for Kyler Murray too, with whoever comes in next as the coach. Do you agree?
Yeah, they're both acting like children. And it's like, act professional. Like, they're not. It's why every single week it's the same thing. And every week it's like, oh, Kyler Murray's got the rushing, got the upside, got the matchup. And it's the same thing every single week with them. They're just like, oh, it didn't work out. Like, they don't do anything in the first half. They're just, offense is not a cohesive unit. So Cliff has just been, people are caught up to what he does on offense. He's not adapting. He's not flexible, and that's frustrating Kyler because we know the talent is there with Kyler. It's so easy to see how talented of a guy he is, but like, he's being held back by Cliff Kingsbury, and the way that he acts is not helping the situation move forward. I think
they're an undisciplined team, and that goes on the field and off of it.
I mean, Robbie Anderson has arrived and has negative. We have more receiving yards than Robbie Anderson does.
That's true.
Since joining the Cardinals.
Well, we're also really good because we're also the reigning flag football champions of Fantasy Pros. So just saying, wide receiver 1 and 2 right here on that team. Just saying. Let's go on there. Let's go to Joker, Tyler Algier or Kareem Hunt in a standard league.
I'm going Algier.
I think you have to until they show you that they're going to put Hunt back in there and let him do something.
Yeah.
To Mech. Hey guys, half PPR flex. Who do you want to start? Khalil Herbert, Raheem Mostert, or Terrace Marshall?
Herbert.
Angel Badillo, Pickens or Metcalf? I'm DK Metcalf. I mean, what?
Yeah. The guy that's been like pretty good this year. Like,
what?
yeah, I can start him,
bro.
I mean, people like Pickens a lot, but it's just like, okay, wait, not more than Metcalf though. We like Pickens, not more than Metcalf though.
Serious, bro? Like, this is the bro. I didn't think we were gonna get a bro question. I think, bro, DK Metcalf is what? Wide receiver 19 on the year in half PPR. He's coming off. He's got 2 weeks in a row, 16 targets, 11 catches. Again, the yardage isn't huge. He got 2 touchdowns, one in each of the games. Like, how? You can't put Pickens in that category.
George Pickens is coming off 0 points.
Well, look, it was against the Eagles, wasn't it? I mean, but still.
Still matters.
That's crazy talk. Angel, that's crazy talk. Eric T, start Brissett, Trevor Lawrence, or Jimmy G?
Jimmy G.
Jacob Reinhardt, thoughts on Aaron Jones? We already gave you thoughts on Aaron Jones. That's an old one. Boogeyman Muay Thai. That's a fun one. All right, Boogeyman wants to know, help, Terrace Marshall or Jerry Jeudy?
Jerry Jeudy for me.
Anuj Patel, another friend of the show. Half PPR, 1 QB. Should I trade Justin Fields and Godwin for Dalvin Cook?
Yeah, if you need a running back, then yeah, I think this makes sense.
I'm okay with that.
Capitalize it.
Here's another fun one. Fat Beaner. Full PPR, 1 wide receiver, and 1 flex. Amari Cooper, Amon-Ra, Cordarelle Patterson. Who's the odd man out?
I would play Patterson and Amon-Ra.
Okay, Amari Cooper, odd man out. That's sad. Hurts my heart. Caleb Peoples, trade AJ Brown or for Stefon Diggs in a full PPR. I don't think you want to make that move right now.
Yeah, I mean, you're taking on a lot more risk, and that's probably why you can get the deal done. So if you're like, you're trying to, yeah, it just doesn't seem smart to me. Just keep AJ Brown.
I like what I know right now, and what I know is that things are going well for the Eagles. Let's go to So4 Fan 1996. It's half PPR, pick 3, Foreman, Swift, Connor, Pollard, Ayuk. Pollard's in. Yes.
Yep, Pollard's in.
Ayuk is in.
Ayuk and Foreman for me.
Ayuk and Foreman. Playing it safe, I agree. Justin EDC, Antonio Gibson or Kareem Hunt. Joe Mixon's on a bye.
I would go with Gibson.
Yep. Triple E. Do I trade Cordarelle Patterson and Jacoby Myers for Amon-Ra St. Brown in the full PPR?
Praise the sun god. Yes.
Yes. There it is. Hallelujah. There it is. Don't forget to like the stream, everybody, on the way out. It's a very easy thing to do. Just click the little thumbs up button. It's very easy, and we appreciate it here. So go ahead and do that. And don't forget to be a subscriber, too, especially if you're just joining us for the first time. When you subscribe, all of the podcasts, the short videos, the long videos, all of them are here for you at Fantasy Pros. So be a subscriber. You can win an Amari Cooper jersey from Pristine Auction. Don't forget also to sync all your teams to my playbook. That's the place to be to help you get over the hump, to help you beat all those other teams into submission and win all your leagues. It's the tools you need to be successful. It's my playbook. And of course, you can check us out on the podcast. We're going to go record one right now, Andrew Erickson and I. So hope everyone has a wonderful rest of the week. Hope everybody can enjoy the game tonight for as much as they possibly can. And that'll do it for us. But the story of the game goes on. For Andrew, I'm Joey P. We'll see you next time, kids.
Thanks for tuning in to the Fantasy Pros YouTube channel. Don't forget to check out our featured videos. And while you're at it, make sure to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Fantasy Pros, so you can get the latest news and updates to give you the edge you need in your fantasy league.